Today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to instantly start building self-confidence and be able to take on anything that life throws at you. Alright guys, let's go ahead and jump right into this. There's two main reasons as to why people lack self-confidence. The first one is not living by your core beliefs. What are core beliefs? Core beliefs are just pretty much the things that you know to be true in your heart. Like things like dependability, honesty, integrity, loyalty, things of that nature. They're going to be different for everybody, so there's no right or wrong answer. So don't think that if you don't know what yours are that there's something really wrong with you. Most people won't take the time to sit down and really think about what makes them them. And that's a big step. Even if you know what your core values are, I would still recommend getting out a piece of paper and listing them off. And then if you don't know what yours are, is doing the same thing, getting a piece of paper and listing out the things that are important to you. Like I said earlier, honesty, integrity, dependability, things of that nature. Once you start living by these day in and day out, it just, you get this overwhelming sense of accomplishment knowing that you are living by what you think is important. You're not fraying away from those, knowing that the things you are or are not doing are completely against what you think is right in the world. So that's the first part. The second one is not living up to your true potential. Now, this could be taken 10,000 different ways. So we'll kind of go at different sectors of life with this. First one is with work. So you might be self-conscious because of your job. You might want to own your own business or be high up in a company, but you might work at a fast food restaurant or work in a warehouse. And you can still maximize your potential even at lower end jobs in another field that is not your end goal. What I mean by that is if you are working at a fast food restaurant, say you go in and you make the burgers. Don't think that because you're making burgers and you want to do something completely opposite of what you're currently doing that you can't learn important skills that will benefit you where you want to be now. Which also plays hand in hand with your core beliefs. So what I mean by this is if you are working in fast food and you make burgers, you have to make sure that every single burger that you make is perfect. You get their orders right, you make everything, you sit everything perfectly on there, you wrap the burgers perfectly, you place them in the bag instead of just throwing them in there, or you place them on the tray instead of just tossing it on there. You take pride in what you do. If you make the French fries, then make sure that every single time that you are making a batch of French fries, that anybody will know that you made those fries because those are the best fries that have came out of the restaurant. Same with if you're stocking shelves. You want to make sure that everything is stocked perfectly, organized and nice and neat, and there's nothing turned out of place, so that people know that, hey, you stocked those shelves because you took the pride in making it perfect. Same with working in a warehouse or something. If you're packing boxes, you want to make sure that you're packing everything in there neatly and organized, and you put the tape on perfectly every single time, and you put it on the shelf perfectly every single time. There's never a box out of place. You go the extra mile to do things that might not be considered your job, like working in fast food or in a warehouse. If you're working in fast food, you have somebody that's there that will mop the floors or clean the bathrooms up or wipe the countertops down clean up a little bit, but you have a slow couple minutes and you see that the floor needs to be swept. So you grab the broom and sweep it. No problem, no complaints. You just do it because you know it needs to get done. Or you go to the bathroom and realize that the toilet needs to be cleaned up. So you go ahead and just clean up the toilet, or you clean up the toilet paper on the ground, or the napkins or whatever. And same within the warehouse. You know that you've finished your order, everything's perfect on that. You have about 20 minutes or so of downtime. So what do? You grab the broom and just start sweeping your section and sweeping the surrounding sections, and you keep everything nice and organized, and you go above and beyond with those things that you're doing. Now, obviously, just alone from you going above and beyond with your work will overflow into every other aspect of your life, but you don't want to give 110% just at work. You want to give 110% to everything. So if you're out at the grocery store and you get your stuff back to your car, you're pushing your cart back to the little island in the parking lot, and you see 3 carts in the space next to the island that somebody just pushed there. You take them and you push them in. Even though they're not yours, it's not your responsibility. You just do it anyway. If you are walking down an aisle and you see some stuff had fallen off the shelf, just pick it up and put it back. It's not your job. There's somebody there that's supposed to do it, but just go the extra mile to make sure that you're doing it. If you're wanting to get into shape, you know that it's going to be a long journey. There's going to be days that you don't want to go, but you still get up and go when you have no motivation to. You're going above and beyond. You make sure that you stick to your diet. You make sure that you stick to your workout routine. You make sure that you drink your water that you need to. You don't cheat when nobody would know. You have to have the fortitude to be able to stick to whatever is in front of you, even though the challenge is there. And it's gonna happen where the days that you don't want to do something are kind of gonna continue day in and day out for a little bit. It happens to everybody. You're gonna be able to ride the motivation, and then it's gonna be a lull, and then it's gonna be a fight the entire way. But I can promise you this, is that every single day that the motivation is not there, but you still push through and do it, every single day that you're doing that, all that you're doing is reinforcing in your head that you can take a challenge, you can do things that are uncomfortable, like you're good enough to be able to take on what 90% of people will not do because it's tough, it's a challenge. They don't want to be bothered. You get up an hour early in the morning to make sure that your food for the day is packed if you're sticking to a meal plan. 90% of people who are trying to stick to a meal plan to get in shape, they don't get it set by a certain time. They're just going to go grab some garbage on their lunch break. But you stay disciplined, and every single day that you can stick to the discipline and keep the fire burning is just reinforcing day in and day out that you can do anything that you're setting your mind to, and you know that you're not leaving anything on the table. Every night that you go to sleep, you're laying in bed right before you go to sleep, and there's absolutely nothing that pops into your head and says, damn, I could have done this better. I could have done that better. You go to bed every single day feeling fulfilled, knowing that you kicked ass at anything that came your way that day. And day one, if you are as self-conscious as they come, day one that you take control of your actions and you leave it all out there and you leave nothing on the table, you're gonna instantly start being more confident. You're gonna start believing in yourself more. You're gonna realize, like, wow, if I did it today, I can do it tomorrow. I can do it the next day. There's nothing that I can't do. And every single day that you continue to do this, that feeling, that motivation, and that belief in yourself just keeps growing and growing and growing. And then next thing you know, it's a year down the road and you're 5 miles further from where you started and closer to where you want to go. And that's just, it's a snowball effect. After you start it going, it's just going to keep growing and keep growing and keep growing, and then you're going to realize that there's nothing that you can't take on, and you're going to be able to wake up every day with this insane amount of confidence, knowing that I've kicked the last 8 months of my life's ass. I could take on whatever's next. But those are the two main factors, and you can carry those into any aspect of life, and you will be successful. You will learn that you can take on whatever that gets thrown at you. And over time, you're going to start realizing that the challenges it's not hard enough anymore. The challenges aren't good enough. You want to be challenged even more. And when you start realizing that you need to be challenged even more, start making yourself have to face tougher challenges, and then you'll start overcoming those and overcoming those. And there's going to be days that you're going to fall flat on your face. You're not going to be able to just instantly jump into all this stuff and take over 100% without having shitty days. But when you have those days, you need to embrace it and say, you know what? I could have done better. Tomorrow, I'm going to double up, and I'm going to make sure that tomorrow I'm on top of my stuff. And if you have a bad couple days in a row, that's fine. Don't feel bad. Don't sit here and say that you're not good enough or you can't handle it. You're human. Everybody's going to slip up. Everybody's going to falter. But catch it and realize that you know that you aren't doing this. And the more that you start to do it and start to leave nothing on the table, the days that you do leave stuff on the table is really going to eat you up, and it's going to piss you off, and you're not going to like it. So what happens? You don't let it happen anymore. And that's with anything. So with any aspect of life, you can implement this, and you will automatically see huge success. So the next video will kind of tie into this as well. One other thing is I'm going to be coming out with a program in the next couple of days, weeks, to kind of help everybody stay on track and build new habits day in and day out. This isn't meant for the big outlandish goals. It's to break it all down and condense it into small everyday goals that you can start knocking out and habits you can start building that will snowball into your large goals. So I will definitely be putting more information about that. Make sure that you guys check below for all the social media links. We're on Facebook and Instagram primarily. We also have our website. Feel free to check that out. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate it, guys.